Welcome to episode 11 of the Break It Down series. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. In this series, I take a look at specific scenarios and I will share with you my thoughts on how I break it down. So let's take a look at today's scenario. Scrum Team A has 6 developers working on a product that has 3 components. Each of the components have a specific developer who owns the component. Each of the developers have specific skills and they are not cross-functional. During sprint planning, the team faces the challenge of ensuring that everyone on the team have the right workload. Some developers have more work, some have less. What can we do in this instance? So what problem are we trying to solve in this scenario? So for me, what it looks to be is a demand problem. What I mean by that is that we have an imbalance of demand, so more work in specific components and then sometimes less, so that we can't meet the demand. So why is this a problem? Simply because we have developers on the team that have less work, right? The people that have a lot of work to do, yes, that's good for them. But people who have less work to do, what do we do with them? So there's an imbalance right here between the folks that have more stuff and some folks have less stuff. So we're going to try to make sure that everybody have enough work and we're all moving towards the same goal. So what do we do? So I think first thing in my mind is there a consistency in the demand? In other words, is there a specific components that have a lot of demand where we are unable to meet the demand, right? So look at the places with that first. Now, in order to solve that problem, simply this: if there is consistency in demand, right, and we consistently do not have enough people to do the work, which means that we need more people, right? More people to do the work. How do we solve for more people? Well, 2 things. We can either hire more people, that is given that we don't have enough people, right? Or if we have people that have less work, can we train them to be able to do the work that we need? And if there is no consistency in demand, then hiring new people is out of the question. So what we want to do is making sure and finding folks that we can train so they can have more skills and be able to meet demand in the specific components when needed. The things that I've seen people do that I would not recommend, and that would be to find more work for those that do not have work. So you literally have to find work for them. So that's not something that I would encourage people to do. It's not a long-term fix, and I don't think it actually solves the problem of meeting demand. So how do we do this, right? So how do we increase the skill set of those that do not have the skills in specific components? So there are 2 ways of doing this in my mind. One is pair programming, and 2 is called mob programming. So by cross-training and increasing the skill set, we're actually gaining a couple of things. We have what we call a win-win situation. One, we're helping the developers become more valuable and be more marketable, right? 2, we're also helping the company to reduce the risk if that person leaves the company. And that could be due to the bus factor, or it could be due to the lottery factor. Now, one of the things is that if you're not doing training, then what can the developers do? It might be finding things that they can help the existing developers in their specific components with high demand. So things like testing and whatever they can do to help out. So this will ensure that we're helping the flow of the delivery. So how would this look like when we're doing sprint planning? Real simple. During sprint planning, we will identify the story, right? And then we will say, hey, folks, who will want to be learning from this? Who will want to be pairing on this? Do we want to mob program on it? So we identify the stories that we can do for pair programming and mob programming. Now, keep in mind that when we do this, our delivery will be less. And that's okay, because it's a short-term pain, long-term gain. So there you have it. This is scenario number 11. Let me know your thoughts. What would you do in this instance? Or are there any other ways for you to solve this problem? Thank you. Bye.